Okay, raw and uncut video again from our playroom. So you missed me being super frustrated, which will be fun to start recording someday. I have my daughter write checks because I'm trying to teach her how to. She can just write numbers and trying to teach her about dates and just something basic. So I have a check. I'm not going to hold up a check with my check numbers on it. But she was trying to write the check, and she left out the date. And I've been working on dates with her for a long time because, as you know, autistic people are really good at remembering things that don't change. And that's the foundation of really almost all the brilliance you've seen autistic people. And like there are people who do incredible math in their heads, like Rain Man. And he didn't. I don't think he had autism, but I think he had some of the qualities. A lot of people with autism are great at math, science.
You were upset about Alexa.
Yeah, we just had somebody quit, so she's bringing that up. But
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. What I want to tell people about is an update. So this is like the news. Remember we used to do newscasters?
Did you ever say like?
So we had somebody leave. We're having changes for summer.
Did you say like Serafina like smiles at me?
Yeah, she smiled. We have people that are working out and they're happier and stuff, and other people who never get the happy, fun thing of sunrise, and then they don't progress and they leave. Anyway, but so getting back to what the changes have been. So I'm using this new thing about what do you see? Say what you see. In last video, I said my daughter could not name. If I said name something on this table, she couldn't name it. I could say scissors and brush and everything else, but I mean like glasses, but she would look and say, wait just for 1 second. Just wait 1 second.
Because a lot of people, sometimes volunteers like watch people who are not like having good attitude.
Do you mean like on TV?
Yeah, on TV.
I know they might be doing that. They might be learning from them.
Yeah.
Actually, thank you for sharing that. Can you hold for just a second? Okay, so what happened was, so she couldn't name anything, and at the end of the last video, I was saying how I had this exercise called Say What You See, and now I'm including Say What You Hear, and Say What You Feel, and even when you say what you're doing, like I'm remembering, because she'll tell a story from the past. She'll just look like that. If I stopped and said, what are you doing? It's I'm remembering. And so we now have a column for that. And it's starting to pay off. So it is working. The other day we were on the deck and she said, did you hear that? And I was like, what? She said, church bells. Do you hear the church bells? And that's something she never does. It's like totally present, seeing something in the moment. That's what most normal children do is, Mommy, Daddy, look, I see a blah, 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 blah. She doesn't say that. It's like she's remembering her memory bank. She's back and mining the memory bank for what happened in the video, like you just saw a second ago. So, so that's working. And she also just a minute ago she said, do you see this eraser's green? It's a brain eraser. It goes on your end. Did you know it goes on the end of your pencil? Anyway, she's also doing some analogies, but like this.
Inside Out?
In the movie Inside Out, you have the context. She's missing a lot of pieces of language. It's interesting. We're still working on it. But what I was trying to get at is that today unfolded by she was trying to write a check, and
I look green in the face and grossed out.
Okay, that's actually a good definition of what disgust is. But that's not what we're talking right now.
Nick Shanky told me about it one time.
Okay. Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Well, then say that.
Nick Shanky told me about the movie.
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Okay, so hold for just a second. Thank you for sharing that. But this is an example. I want you to see this in real time. It's not clean. It's not to the point. This is how our sessions are. Is that there's lots of time just like we're stopping to look out the window. And anyway, so what I'm finding though is that I remember at the very end of last segment, this is like the third time I'm telling you this down, I keep getting interrupted, is another version of this is to have her describe things. Because if you're describing this brush, you are present. If you're saying it's white, it's long, it's got a squishy handle, your nail polish is white, it's all present, and that increases. Remember my theory about the inner loop versus the outer sensory loop. Instead of just sensing or just remembering, she's sensing. In a sense, she's not sensing anything. Her memory, I've actually refined it since last time we talked. The inner loop is actually not a sensory loop. It's just a loop of pulling memory. It's like to replace the lack of the sensory incoming memory. Incoming data. So saying I remember or I feel upset is very aware and present, just like saying your nails are white.
It's for grown-ups.
We call this isming in the Sunrise program. It's where people are just sort of repeating something that's we call it stimming in the regular autism traditional therapy world. But We usually join in sunrise because I'm talking to you. I'm not doing it right now. But what I want to get to wrap this up, then we can keep talking.
Dad and
Anna.
I do the ball game a lot.
What ball game?
Throwing, and he uses SpongeBob to get. I told him that like Michael and I do it a lot.
Oh, so you guys play the same game?
Yeah.
You play the same games with both people?
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, did you know Michael's coming back? Probably because Alexis left.
Yeah.
Okay, so she couldn't figure out the date.
Right.
She said the date, and I said, "How do you know?" I've been asking her why questions. Stage 4 sunrise. We're working on why questions. Why? And she couldn't say why. She's looking at her phone, and the calendar has like the date. She said it's. I'm like, what day? And she's like 8, May 8, which is today. And then she looks at her phone, and I say, well, how do you know it's 8? And she's like, could not say why, even though it's got a big. It's in white with a big red circle on it around the whole back of it. Right. All the other numbers are black and white. She can't say why. I kept saying, why? Describe it. Describe it. She doesn't know how to describe it. She can't say one word to describe it other than it's a Monday. Because she can look on somebody's taught her to look in the columns. But cannot describe it. Cannot say it's red. Cannot say it's in a circle. Cannot say it's white. None of that. We were working on this for like the last half hour. And then I said, well, how about this number? Why do you think it's 11? Because 11 is right there. I'm like, why do we know it's not 11? She goes, oh, I'll write 11. I'm like, no. Why is it not 11? And she's like, is it 11? I'm like, okay, we're missing the point. Describe the 11. She can't describe the 11. Then I go to the next calendar. Describe the 8 here. It's black and white. She can't describe it. Finally, we had a breakthrough. Wait, Hannah, don't go yet. We had the breakthrough where she said it's curvy. Come back. So we're trying to talk about what's in... No, we're going to keep going. We're going to do the adjectives. So we're trying to work on... So it turns out, like, knowing how to describe something, knowing something's an adjective is, like, advanced. I mean... Here we are, it's years and years in the Sunrise program. I can't get her to say one word about anything. And if you come here and describe the 8, so I'm trying to have her describe. Answer the question, why do you think it's 8? And the answer is because it's in a different color. You know what I'm saying? That's how we all know, right? But you have to first observe that it's in a different color. And then you could say, oh, I guess that's why I'm picking it. She's not even aware why she's picking it. She's picking it in an automated way. Come on over here, kitty. You want to show that to people? Show people the stretchy mice and cheese. Oh, no, bring it over here. It's super cool. And it's got so many cool toys that she earns. She earns... Here, show people. Look, it's a stretchy mice and cheese. And we found out afterward that it was... Look, so people can see up close. It's stretchy... It's stretchy, and you can put the mice on the inside.
Here they are.
We should actually... Look, they're super cute. So you put them inside the cheese. You can stretch them. They stretch their way. It's like a little house. Look, the mouse is in the cheese. It's in there. Anyway, so it's super cute. We found out it was like an autism toy, autism therapy
my
toy.
stress ball.
Yeah. So yeah. So I want to say is that the present thing is working. She's done a couple other things that were really present.
My phone is almost feathered.
Yes, that's good.
And then I'll be able to play with Serafina tomorrow.
That's good. I think so too.
She's gonna come tomorrow.
I think so. Is that the plan?
Yeah. That's
great. So in fact, today I was having her scan herself. Like we do in the Sunrise, in Not Boniel method, and she was saying, I was saying, so scan yourself. How is your nose? How is your throat? Whatever. But usually I just say, how's your nose? And I point them out. Sometimes I was saying, scan yourself. Does anything feel sick? And she was saying, like, I'm not coughing anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's actually a present thing. So she's getting just better at noticing the present, mentioning the present. There's another really good one. It's been coming up more than one time. It's a number of times. But it's I think this is working. But the thing I mentioned about describing, that activity, most definitely do this. Like, I didn't know my daughter did not know how to describe anything. She couldn't say what a description meant. It's like we just keep discovering holes inside of holes inside of holes. But eventually, like, there's a basic level of ability that once we patch that, we'll be able to keep, build from there. But like so here, come on over here, kitty.
It's a ball.
So I want people to see us working on that. Thank you for showing me. Can I play with it too? Ooh. I always feel like these are going to pop on me, even though you've done it a million times. I feel like I'm the one that's going to pop on. Here, can you come on over here, Anna?
No, I keep on waiting.
Wait, can you talk to me?
Because it's staying inside.
Right. Okay, come on over here and let's hang out here while you're doing that. I've been a lot harder on her as far as, like, we spent, just to write an envelope, I'm not kidding, to write 3 envelopes to a couple people who had left, and then another envelope for our storage unit. It's like, come on over here, kitty. I want you to keep describing the 8. Can you find what date it is? Can you tell me, look at the 8 again. Describe the 8.
Remember Sophia drawing that Roxy picture? The one with her hooks?
Yes. That's a great picture. I'm thinking of framing that picture. Or we should scan the picture and put it online for people. That's a cute picture. Here. That's good looking at me, Anna. So describe the 8. Go back to the calendar app and tell me what's different about what do you notice about the 8? Go ahead and log in.
The 8 is where the Monday goes.
No, wait. Describe the 8.
The 8 is at the angle.
Where's the angle? Are you describing the shape?
Yeah.
Well, you said it was curvy and swirly, which are kind of synonyms, and these are similar. What else? Okay, so let's just. I'm just gonna have to give her the answer because we've been doing this for like half an hour. What is the color of the 8, Anna?
Yeah.
What color is the 8?
What color is the 8? You said I'm so glad Alexis is.
No, I'm saying if she didn't want to be happy and enjoy the program, we have to have people who enjoy the program. Okay, so what's different about the 8 that you're saying that the 8 is the right day?
The 8 is the right day? Yeah.
No, I'm asking you. You told me it was the 8th.
Yes.
Yes, good looking. You told me the 8th is the right day.
Right.
Why is today the 8th?
Because I looked at my phone.
Okay, how did you know it was 8 and not 9?
Look.
No, okay, in the front, right?
Monday, May 8th.
Right, but if you were looking at the calendar, go back to the calendar view.
No, it's not 87.
No, that's right, don't say that. Okay. All right, go ahead. So
Don't say that.
we don't want to talk about passwords on
Okay,
the YouTube
sorry.
where everybody will have your passwords and everything. Okay, so what is different about the 8 than the other days?
The 8th? Okay.
Describe the 8. Anna, describe it.
The 8 is curvy and swirly.
Yes, you got that. Curvy swirly, that's good. What else about it? What else does it look like? What do you see when you look at the 8?
What do I see when I look at the 8? What do I see if I look at the 8?
I asked you earlier, what color is it? What color is the 8, Anna?
The 8 is red.
It's surrounded by red. What's the color of the actual 8?
White.
Okay, so you could put that it's white on that list.
If I put white.
White. Okay. Okay, are the other letters white?
What?
What?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hey! That looks like fun. Can you balance it? Yours is harder because of the heavy eraser. Do you want to take the eraser off and try to balance it? Take off the brain eraser. Look, see if you can balance it. This is ABM. Look at that! Look at that! Look, I'm doing it too. Woo! Here, can we see if we can tap them and they won't fall? Oh, you got it between your fingers. Can you try that? Can you try it between a different pair of fingers? Can you try it between a different pair of fingers? Like, can you go like between these fingers? Can you put between the middle ones too? Like these two. Can you balance it? Don't try to grip it. Balance it. Like, balance it, Anna.
So long.
Just like gooey. Why is that gooey? Did somebody put something on the inside of the brain eraser?
So then she then like.
Who's she?
Whenever my contact is broken.
Your what?
It's pure my contact is broken when we buy a new replacement one.
Right. What are you doing right now, Anna? What are you doing? You were remembering. You say I was remembering.
I was remembering that like Caitlin told me she didn't like Francine.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't need to listen to her.
Right, but wait a second. What are you doing with your thumb, though?
Because to me, you might say like she's wrong. Yeah.
It's up to her. You're not. If you don't like something, you can't be wrong. Nobody can be wrong about not liking something. They just don't like what they don't like. Like, if she didn't like Francine, there's nothing wrong about that. Here, try that off.
She's not good. She has to fight with her.
Right, but
it's like
right, but and remember I told you I don't want to talk about cartoons right now. So what are you doing right now?
We're quitting the eraser.
Yes.
Yes. I yelled at.
That's good. And you're yelling or whatever. You raised your voice. You're cleaning your eraser. You raised your voice. Let's put that on our list. Here. But we generate a lot of stuff we haven't done yet. Here, say what you see. Here we go. Here. Say what you see. And I also have the page that say what you're doing. Here, that was what happened yesterday. Here. Characters crying. Remember that page where we put down all the things about the characters that cried in shows?
Right.
Well, because it feels like it puts it all together somewhere. Addresses, the number on the phone. What happened to the one about what I'm doing today? Here we go. Anything other than collecting, like talking about anything other than talking about collecting and buying characters or about cartoons or videos. So number one is you're cleaning eraser. So put cleaning pencil eraser. That's great. You're doing something other than that. Woo!
Cleaning pencil eraser.
Yes. So anything you focus on, it becomes bigger in the brain. So the thing that's present is doing the eraser instead of the memory about the person who said the thing and the video and everything.
And Caitlin told me she didn't like her, and you might. That's her problem.
No, it's not even a problem. If she doesn't like somebody, it's okay. She doesn't like somebody. She just doesn't like them. It's okay to not like somebody.
She keeps. I don't know why she like turned him and tell her like she's a.
Right, but I don't want to talk about cartoons today. So that's another thing about her not liking a cartoon character.
Yeah.
So just
cleaning.
I'm not talking about that today with you. Just cleaning. What were you cleaning?
You won't even talk about it anymore?
I don't want to talk about it today. Just today. Just this morning.
Okay.
Okay, so what were you cleaning?
The pencil eraser.
Yes, that's right. But as you can see, I just want people to see this because if she recovers, I know people are going to not believe me, but like, you know, it's really basic and I want it to be documented. Santa just wrote a check.
Sorry?
Because I was in your space. When you're in somebody's space, you're supposed to say, I'm sorry.
Cleaning the pencil eraser.
What about the pencil eraser? Clean a pencil eraser. That's awesome. Okay, so thank you for writing that. So we're going to go back to the page we were on, which is we were doing adjectives. So describe the number 8. So it's white. You could put like surrounded by red, because that's obvious. Yes.
Do you remember Amanda Border?
I do.
The one that she in like The Simpsons.
Yes, I do. I remember that. Wait, but we're talking about cartoons again.
No, sorry.
Let's talk about something other than cartoons. Like, let's talk about what
I won't talk about.
Just for this morning.
Yeah.
Just for this morning. We're experimenting.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I wonder if it wasn't such a good thing to ever give you those videos. Now here, do you see the number 8 here?
Yes.
Can you describe the number 8 again? Like I think we were talking about. You said that it was red, but it was like it's in a red background.
Yeah.
You could put has red background if you want, because we're really talking about not just the number 8, but how it appears. So it has red background.
Right here?
Or has red in the background. There isn't a lot of room to put red in the background, but you could try.
Red.
In.
Background.
Whoa, that's supposed to be on the same line. we're writing about red in the background on the same line as the number. This is like a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Red in background. So I'm also teaching her about just how things are laid out, like
You don't
literally.
need to be upset.
You write about something and
You're
you write across. No, I do not need to be upset.
You got pissed off at me.
I don't agree with that, but go ahead. You can believe whatever you want about that. Go ahead and write the red background, please.
Cover back.
Okay, so what you saw earlier was joining, and those of you who are Sunrise parents do that all the time. It helps a person get the break they need when they need it, in the way, and it sort of supports them with you liking what they like and doing what they do. Okay, so wait, now look at the 9. Can you describe the 9? So here, why don't you put here the number 9, here, number 9 on phone. Now how is the number 9 different? Right next to it. Describe it.
Was the number 9 different?
Yeah, how is the number 9 different from the number 8 in terms of what it looks like that you would know that 8 was today? Like, how did you know 8 was today?
How do I know what 8 was today?
Yes, that's the right question. What's your answer to that question?
8 is curvy and swirly.
Right, I didn't ask you that. I asked you, how do you know that it's today, though?
Like a round circle.
Look, there's a 28. Look, there's a 28 that's curvy and swirly. The question is, how do you know it's not the 16th today?
Because the 16th is under Tuesday.
Right, but 15, how about the 15th? That's under Monday. How do you know it's not the 15th?
Because, I don't know.
Well, if you took a guess, what's different? If I said, when I asked you, can you stop making noise? When I said, which is the...
Who'd you talk to?
I don't know if that's, who's over there or not, your brother. Okay, so...
No, that's just you.
Oh, please don't make that noise. It's getting on the video.
Please.
Here. Okay, so when I asked you what day it was, you looked here and you said it was the 8th. Why do you say it's the 8th?
When I said it, who did you talk to? Were you like?
I thought that was him over there with the light,
and you saw
the pulling cords.
And you saw.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh yes, yes, this is an example. Yeah. Yay! Did you see that? That was present and recent. Yay! Although she tends to notice a lot more of things that I would say where she's upset about it, which is not possible.
Why do you think she's upset about it?
Yeah, it's like you tend to remember things where. In this case, I wouldn't say I'm upset about, though. I take that back. It just involves some kind of conflict between us. No, not cartoons. Okay. We're not talking about cartoons. Okay, so why is the number 8 today and the number 15 is not today? Because look, they're both on Monday.
You say 8 is today?
I'm saying, how do you know 8 is today? You knew 8 was today. Tell me why.
Because that's what it is.
Why do you know that?
Because I saw one on my phone and it said.
No, on the front you saw it, but how come you can tell it's okay? So we're not even going to get anything out of this.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so the answer is because it's in. I'm not quitting. We're stopping on this. No, because describe to me how if you had not seen the 8 when you came in, if you had not seen the 8.
I do see the 8.
No, if you had not seen the 8, you had not seen the 8 when you came in. How would you know from that today is the 8th? If you had not seen it, when you got on your phone, you did this, you go, oh, it's May 8th, right? If you had not seen that, how would you know from this that it's the 8th, that the 8th is today?
The 8th is today?
So you can see how it's like it's in bright red, see that? How would you know it's not today? I mean, how would you know that was today?
How do I know if
How would you know that was today if you had not already seen it that it said on the 8th?
8 is under May.
No, that's not why you know. Because the 15th is under May too.
Right.
And the 3rd is under May too.
Right.
How do you know 8th is today from that?
Because that's what the day is.
Okay,
year.
Based on what? That's what the day is based on what?
Based on 15.
How do you know the 15th isn't today?
Because the 8th is today.
Yeah, but that's because you looked at this. If you had not seen this, how would you know that the 8th was today from that? If I had only shown you that. But isn't the 8th different from the other numbers? Isn't it different?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It is different. How is it different? How is it different?
You're like trying to take something away.
I'm trying to have people see how different it is and how obvious. No, go back to it. Don't go back out. You can't see it then. How is it different?
Monday 8th.
Wait, don't look at the front. Look at only this calendar. How can you tell from this calendar that it's the 8th?
I don't tell anything. I don't know what to say about it.
But how is it different?
I don't know what to say about it.
Do you not notice it has a giant red ball to make it go, today? That's what the red ball is.
Really?
That's why it's in this white, and it's different.
Yeah. Right.
So the only reason you're saying that's an 8, if you hadn't seen this, is because it's got a giant different color going like this.
Yes.
That's why people make different colors. Do you get that?
Yes, I do get that. Don't get stressed out.
Okay, so this is... I'm not stressed out. Now we're going to try to write an address, which is... I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. It's been 25 minutes, but I just want you to see what this is like in real time. And this is like at the end. You missed the first half hour. Anyway, that was good, Anna. And we got a couple current things about you cleaning the pencil eraser. That was good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to write... And I'll just wrap up with this last thing we were doing yesterday. And it took like... We worked on this for like 2 hours yesterday. Just having her write the checks. We have her write checks and we're sending these envelopes. And so an envelope has a name, a street number, a street address, street name, unit number, city, state, zip. And if I ask her what's an address, she can't say that. She needs to know that. So we keep working on that. And she was like just supposed to write 2 different addresses, that the person had an old address and a new address, and she couldn't identify where the second address was on the whole page of paper, even though it was like right here next to it. And anyway, so what we did is we started breaking it into the fields, like you do when you do a database. So there's like things I just mentioned, and she was getting it. By the end of yesterday, you started getting, and she was alphabetizing. Did you remember you were alphabetizing yesterday too?
Squishy pops.
Yeah, I see the squishy pops.
You like them?
I do. Those are fun. I like that they're stress balls, although it looks like your skin is really breaking out there. We need
Why do you keep noticing my skin?
No, it's because it's bleeding. People usually notice blood.
I want to see
That's what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, so we'll put some stuff on it if you'll be okay about that. Okay, so today we're going to work on rhyming, or we have to mail this letter. And I wish I had the letter thing here. Let me see if I can find it. So I was doing, like it was kind of like drilling a little bit, like with, Anna, we got to write this check letter thing, envelope. Come on over here, cutie. But, sorry, I made up a lot of curriculum. Like I started doing, trying to have her tell from what the number looks like whether it's if you ask somebody what's the street address, and they need to know that it's a number that comes before. Usually it's a number and then a street and then everything, and she just does. You'll say like, what's the street, and she'll be like Milwaukee, and you'll be like, okay, or like, what's the state, and she'll be like, the state is whatever. She'll put it's completely like the person's name. I mean, she has to get the idea of what everything falls under. So I created like a spreadsheet with, I'm not going to show the names of the people on here, but name, street number, street name, unit number, city, state, zip, and had her try to write them out, and it was excruciating. It took like a really long time, back and forth, having her say like a state that doesn't exist, and even though we had worked for a long time on just like the state codes, she was like saying that the state was, wagon trail, whatever, somebody addressed someone's address, like the state, what's the state? Wagon trail, like, show me where the state is here. That's this wagon trail. I have the map with. Anyway, so in short, the description thing is a really big deal, and we're going to be working on it all day. It's not easy for her at all, as you can see. And what you'll see is later on, here she can't even. I had to feed her that it was a color, but she can't describe it other than saying it's curvy, which is great. That's a start. That's the first one. I was so excited to get that, and that's why I decided to record right after that happened. But, in the future, she's going to be describing her. I'm going to put a video on. I'm going to say, can you describe this? And she'll say, it's black, it's plastic, it's light. And she's just not there. So I want to record it and have data and show you what it's like. And this is not even a really long or really slow going session. Sometimes it goes slower and go longer. So it's amazing. People work with autistic kids. It's amazing when you have any results. Don't ever tell someone with an autistic child that they just, grew out of it. They'll want to just like, punch you in the face. So they don't just grow out of it. It takes this kind of work for like a decade, and then you know what I'm saying? That's what it takes. Anyway, so try the thing about being present. Say what you see, say what you hear, describe things, which we're going to go heavy into that, and then keep working on things that are don't change. Like, again, like the state codes, numbers. We're going to work on the periodic table soon. I was really brilliant at that. Addresses, they're always a certain format. You should be able to look at a receipt and pull a number and a date out of it because the date's a certain format. So it's really important. Once kids get that, it's a decoding thing for everything else. So I don't know, it's long-winded. I just want people to see what it's like. So I'm going to start doing more ordinary sessions, and it looks like we're wrapping up 30 minutes. The end. Bye.